Greetings everyone, welcome. My name is Vincent and I'm here to discuss the crypto project Celsius and whether it is a key to financial freedom or fraud. Just a quick disclaimer, this is not financial advice, rather financial opinion. Let's see what is on the menu today. We are first going to look at what the Celsius network is and how it works. What are the main features of the Celsius network? Why use it over other alternatives, or what makes it different from the traditional financial systems? How strong is the security of the network? What is the best way to utilize the Cell token? And lastly, what are the pros and cons of Celsius network? What is Celsius network? Celsius is a crypto lending platform formed in 2017. The services Celsius offer include flexible staking of crypto loans, and they also support a moderate amount of cryptos to purchase, if you want to purchase crypto through that platform. They also support a wide range of stablecoins on the network, so essentially they are a crypto bank and are a direct alternative to banks and traditional financial lending platforms. The main difference is that Celsius offers significantly better interest rates on staking and loan interest rates compared to traditional financial systems. You are able to earn upwards of 12% interest on your dollars, also known as fiat currency, through flexible staking without having to lock up your money. On the other hand, if you were to go to a bank and open a high savings interest account or term deposit, you'll be lucky to be getting an interest rate of 3%. This makes Celsius a great savings platform for your crypto and your fiat currency. The main features of the Celsius network would be its HODL feature, which stands for Hold On for Dear Life, which essentially means not selling or touching your assets, but just leaving it there and holding on to them, literally. This is a good behavior to do on a Celsius network due to the high interest rate on fiat currency and crypto, making this platform good for parking assets to earn good compound interest. The interest is paid out weekly, which amplifies the compounding interest effect. I'll give you an example of the difference of interest paid out on a higher frequency that compounds quicker over time versus annual interest payout. Here on the left, we have an initial amount of $10,000, an interest rate of 9% per annum, and a time frame of 10 years, and a compounding frequency of weekly would give us $24,576 after 10 years. While on the other hand, if you change the frequency rate to yearly, that same $10,000 will end up being $23,673 after 10 years. The change in increased frequency from yearly to weekly resulted in an average interest rate of 9.4% instead of 9%. So here it shows that despite the same interest rate, you'll end up with more interest earned by having a higher frequency. The other main feature on Celsius, which I'll touch on, are crypto loans. On Celsius, you can borrow crypto or stablecoins by using your own crypto assets as collateral. By putting your crypto assets on the Celsius platform as collateral, you can take up to 50% of the value of your collateral as a loan. This borrowing system of Celsius does not discriminate, and the only requirements of a loan is the required collateral. For those of you that don't know what a stablecoin is, it is basically a crypto coin with the value pegged to a currency dollar, i.e. the stablecoin USDC has a constant value of the US dollar, hence the name stablecoin because the value of the coin does not change. Here on the poster, LTV stands for loan to value ratio. Basically, it is the loan size as a percentage of the collateral value. APR stands for annual percentage rate, basically meaning interest rate. The interest for the loans, as you can see, are lower. If you have a large portion of your portfolio in Cell tokens, you get a lower interest rate, and those rates are displayed in pink in this picture. For a loan, no financial checks are required. Instead, they ensure loans are paid back by holding on to collateral that has to maintain a certain value throughout the loan. In the case the value of the collateral drops below a certain value ratio of the loan, a warning will be given before the collateral will be sold to cover the loan. So there are risks involved with taking out a loan, but that is another topic for another day. So, why use it? The main reason you might want to use Celsius as a savings, emergency fund, or spare fiat due to the platform offering a high interest rate on your fiat dollars. It is a good place to store your funds while you earn compound interest on your assets. As the interest is calculated on a weekly basis instead of monthly or yearly, as mentioned earlier, the money pile builds faster, creating a snowball effect. At the time of the video, the current interest rate for fiat currency is 8.5%, but that interest rate for fiat currency fluctuates between 8 to 11%. Now compare the interest to a traditional financial bank interest rate of at most 3%, you're looking at a night and day difference. This chart here shows the basic flowchart of the company Celsius. And as you can see, 80% of the revenue goes back to the users. Compare that to a traditional bank and it is the opposite. 90% goes to the shareholders and insiders, and only 10% goes back to the users, you and I. That's crazy, and this is what makes Celsius so special. For once, a company treats their users and customers as shareholders of the company essentially. Here are some quick stats. In the past 3 years, Celsius has paid out over $1 billion in interest to their users, from only 1.4 million users in the past 3 years. And if we were to compare that to Commonwealth Bank in Australia, they have 15 million users with earnings of 7.3 billion. Of that 7.3 billion, 5.3 billion goes to their shareholders. A couple $100 million goes into paying their CEO and insiders. 1 billion goes into their share buyback program, which only benefits the shareholders, not the users. And you are left with only a few $100 million in interest for the users, you and I. So despite Commonwealth Bank having 10 times the amount of customers, they pay roughly the same amount of interest back to users as Celsius does in a given year. In simple terms, the average customer gets 10 times the amount of interest on Celsius as Commonwealth Bank, mainly due to the distribution of earnings. Okay Vincent, this sounds good and all, but you may be asking, what about the security? Security features on the app include two-factor authentication, which essentially requires you to log in twice, once through the Celsius app itself, and another time through your email, phone, or authentication app where one-time use code is generated. Hence it adds another layer of defense if someone were to obtain your login and password for the Celsius app. They will not be able to log in without having access to your phone or email. PIN, facial, or fingerprint recognition you can also set up to require to open the app itself. HODL mode feature means if it is activated, you won't be able to withdraw your funds from your account. So in case your account is hacked, the hacker won't be able to withdraw your funds for 24 hours, as funds can only be withdrawn after HODL mode is turned off. Address allow lists is a feature that only allows withdrawals to certain wallet addresses on the authorized list. If new addresses is added, you won't be able to withdraw funds to that address for 24 hours. Again, another security feature to buy time in the event you get hacked. You'll have up to 48 hours to contact the support team to disable your account if you think you got hacked and get your password and pins reset. It is also worth noting that you get email notifications when a new IP address, i.e. new device, logs into your account. So, those are the main security features on the app, but what about the network itself? So first, the funds on Celsius are safeguarded by Fireworks and Prime Trust. They both have been certified by independent audits. Fireworks has a SOC Cert 2, and Prime Trust has an ISO Cert in financial institutions. These storage platforms are very secure, and all their assets in storage are fully insured if a successful hack was to occur. Celsius generate interest on your assets by lending it to institutions just like any other bank. They don't have insurance on the loan, but they require borrowers to have a minimum collateral of 150% for the value of their loan. In other words, if they were to loan $1 million, they would require a collateral of $1.5 million to hold on to. In case loan payments or interest from the borrower is missed, it will be deducted from the institutions that is borrowing. That is Celsius' way of ensuring that borrowed funds are returned and interest is paid to our customers. Celsius also utilizes multi-party computation to safeguard their private wallet keys. This involves scrambling the private wallet address into pieces and distributing the pieces into many different servers. To put them back together, one would require the information on all the servers and simultaneous signatures from different individuals for each server to obtain the information. In other words, it will be very hard for a hacker to obtain the information of private keys within the Celsius network. Next, we're going to run through how to use the Cell token. The Cell token is the native token to the Celsius network. Its main purpose as a utility token is to offer benefits to those that hold it. As you can see in the chart, the greater the percentage of your portfolio that comes from the Cell token, the greater the rewards. Holding some Cell token could be very beneficial depending on your strategy. For instance, if you have 30% of your value of your portfolio in Cell tokens and the rest in stablecoin, i.e. USDT, then at the time of the video, you'll be getting 10.73% interest rate on your USDT. But this number could vary between 10 to 13.75, depending on fluctuations on the fiat interest rate. You can also get loan interest rate discount by holding a portion of your portfolio in Cell tokens. So if you do this right, you can borrow a lot of money at a very low interest rate. Alright, what are the pros and cons of Celsius network? The pros are high interest rate on fiat-based stablecoins and crypto assets. Their security-first approach makes Celsius a highly secure network. To date, no funds have been lost through hacks on the network. Loans with interest rate as low as 0.75% for loan sizes 25% of your collateral and platinum Cell token holding status. There are no fees on withdrawals or sending your crypto to other wallets, only a 0.1% fee on supported assets on the platform through bank transfers. Unique Cell token utility program, where the more Cell you hold, the greater your interest rates and loan interest rate discounts. The cons are Celsius has possible regulatory risks. Most countries have approved the services Celsius offer, including the US and Australia and Commonwealth countries. But countries like Iran and Sudan and a few others have banned the services. Celsius has a sound customer service. I have utilized them a couple of times and had a decent experience. They solved the problem but required about 12 hours to fully resolve the problem. A lot of people have also mentioned that this is an area that they can improve on. They can also never have enough security, though they are the most secured platform among their competitors like BlockFi. They can never be secured enough, and there's still a small risk that their platform could be hacked. So I advise to anyone to never put all your eggs in one basket. Lastly, the interest rate does fluctuate slightly, depending on the environment, but 95% of the time it would be above 8% for fiat currencies, but it can reach as high as 10 to 11% depending on the environment. So in conclusion, in my opinion, this crypto financial service sector is going to disrupt the traditional finance industry. Celsius is the leader in the sector and the most secure network, which is the most important thing in an emerging sector, as security is often weak in emerging technology sectors. So that is the most important thing, especially since you are trusting them to keep your funds safe, like you do with a bank. If you're interested in trying their services, they currently have a promotion where if you use the referral code provided, you will receive 50 USD when you deposit or transfer at least 400 USD of equivalent value and leave it there for a 30-day lockup period. That's a generous starting offer and beats other competitors. Alright, in the next video, I'll be doing a basic tutorial on how to use the Celsius app and getting started. This is all guys, I appreciate it if you watch it to the end. If you have any questions, leave a comment and I'll try to answer them. See you next time, bye bye.